Please allow me a contemplation on the event of the 11th September. The first thing is that I was in no way surprised. In contrary, I expected such an event. I was rather thinking it's the White House because I did not know this World Trade Center. But I was expecting a very impressive building to be attacked. The reason for thinking this is very simple. Whether it is true or not, it doesn't matter. But when you spread rumors here and there, whether they are true or not does not matter for the people that hear them. How can they check it whether it is true or not? But if the rumors are bad, it creates evidently aggressions. Now, when there were rumors spread in Arabic countries, who it was doing, I don't know. I just have heard it. But again, it does not matter whether it is true or not. Important is that something bad is spread in a large style. So I will make revenge. A war is not possible, so assassination is the only possibility to be done. I remember 40 years ago in Solothurn, I was speaking to a friend, professor of philosophy at Kantonsschule Solothurn. I was telling him one should make a cultural exchange from Arabic countries and USA and perhaps also Europe. So the heart of the family bin Laden, I call it like this, is touched when I see that in USA there are many people interested in cultural discoveries of Arabic countries, and Afghanistan is rich of them, and other cultures also. They have very ancient, old, rich things, very rich heritage. Unfortunately, many people that live today have not the slightest idea of them. But nevertheless, I have an advantage, as it is the same in India. In India, there are many wise people. They have made long, deep research on how to do the best that human being's heart turns noble. And I discovered it is already noble, but hidden. Same as old Socrates. I'm just a helper, like when a child is born. The wisdom, the heartful wisdom, is already there in the children, in the young people. I only have to help to surface it. Now, the precious thing is the following. But before I can say it, I must say something on love. There are two kinds of love. When Beatles say make love, not war, say no only one kind of love. It is a love of doing. When a mother is together with the children and the children behave terribly, it is mostly the case that the mother only knows the love of doing. But in India, in Tibet, and in China and other countries, I have discovered the calm but alive love. It is not just platonic love doing nothing. It is alive. It is pregnant. It is full. It is rich. I saw once in a train an Indian family, maybe 10 hours traveling. The children were all time quiet sitting at their seat. Nothing silly doing. The reason is their parents had something of this love radiating from the heart, and once the children feel welcome, feel loved, there is no always ice cream or something like this. There are two kinds of love. In fact, the love of doing is not love. It is expressing the love that exists in the heart. It is not love. You can be as loving as you want, impress thousands of people, but this is not love. The love is the radiation of the heart, and this love can be expressed by acts. Now, in ancient time, in Afghanistan, in India, this was all very much life. And all these wise people that knew this love, they gave a tax-free heritage to all people in the country. So the heart of the people of Afghanistan, of Kurdistan, of all these countries are tax-freely nourished by birth, nicht Erbsünde, tax-free nourished by love, because this love is going all around, it fills the space. And the more this love is growing and active, the heart of anyone is touched. The heart of the people of Al Qaeda is touched. And once enough touched, they drop all ideas of doing horrible things. So one has to distinguish these two kinds of love. One is doing, which is in fact an expression of love, and the other love, which is a real thing existing. Those that have eyes to see. The Bible it's written, if you have eyes and see. If you have eyes, you see this love. You feel this love. And this is very much nourishing. Now such contributions to USA, and there are many other cultures, discoveries of value. Even people of Afghanistan, I did forget them. But there are historical researchers, as I know that these things exist, and I can do effort to rediscover them. And once brought them to USA, the family Bin Laden will be touched. What kind of thing is happening in America? They appreciate our old cultural heritage, which even we here do not fully understand. Or do you understand Ibn Arabi? There are many that say this is a philosopher. It is not true. Ibn Arabi is not a philosopher. He has a immensely richness in his heart. He makes statements nobody understands. It is it is a difficulty. The more rich you are in the heart, the more difficult it is to speak. Now I proposed this to this friend in Solothurn, and he said, shut up, go and drink a coffee. I did shut up, I did go and drink a coffee, and then I went in the forest. I have studied 5 sciences. I could be a good teacher at high school. I said, bye bye. If it is not allowed to help, I play idiot and go in the forest and put my head on a root. Once it was snowing, my body was full of snow. Then I went in the river Are to take a bath. It is a kind of attitude, and I did not turn sick. So this proposition of cultural exchange, and there are other things, perhaps scientific discoveries, or I don't know, from USA, if supported in the schools of Afghanistan, Bin Laden will hear it and say, but this is not bad what they do. I will think over it to attack them. These are heartful, lovingly things I proposed 40 years ago. I just got hammers for such things. So this is in the moment all I wanted to say. I just can say I did speak spontaneously, as I did speak when I had to go through a test, become a teacher of high school. I had to give a lesson of mathematics. There I made a mistake. I wrote 0 instead of -0. I did not explain why, but I can tell it now. Not a single second I was preparing this lesson where the experts come to see me. My intention was to have a lesson giving of the lowest and baddest kind possible of me. The professor of pedagogy found it excellent. But the professor for mathematics said this is unforgivable. 0 instead of -0. But I did not explain myself. Also, Seneca has written this to Cullius. I just write down as I feel. I do not change the text, though it is more alive. When I make a big art of literature, it may look better, but it is no more alive. The same experience I had in the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. The pictures of Van Gogh are very good, but when I saw studies, pre-pictures before he made the rest, the final picture, it is more alive. And for all those that like to do paintings themselves, it is better to see these studies, these experiments, this trying how to express there is a life in it. Though the same is here, I did not want to note it down very correct and beautifully. Just I speak from my heart with best wishes and nothing else. Thanks for this. Please allow me too to contemplate on amok. It has something to do also with 11th September. It is not such a huge event, but nevertheless huge enough. And it is important to see the reasons why this happens. And once one can cut off the roots of the dark plants of the evil, much less horrible things will happen. And I'm sure also in Afghanistan there would be enough people that would like to support this. And this solution is absolutely non-aggressive. For whenever you show some aggression to any one criminal, he will hammer back. When you kill one criminal of a group, the rest will stand up. So this is dangerous. Let us consider now the amok that has happened here in Switzerland. How does it come? My statement is simply there are heavy mistakes in our pedagogy. There are things completely ignored which are of immense important value of a human being. And this is done since centuries and centuries. There is a heavy mistake, not only in pedagogy, but also in the religions. It is a little bit difficult to explain because I'm for experience, not for explanations. But I tell you, when I was a small child, I was seeing trees. There, the God is infinitely good. So I had the question, why can trees have fruits, button, flower, fruits, and we nothing? So I was thinking over it and thinking over it. Then in a lexic I saw very nice pictures of jewels, smaragd, korund, rubin, sapphire, tourmaline. And when I saw these very nice pictures, I had the feeling that nature promises us to have a mind as clear as these crystals, and to have a wisdom still hidden of the same beauty as these crystals. Then slowly I started feeling There must be an inner growth. There must be an inner development. There must be inner leaves, bottoms, flowers, fruits, fragrance of fruits. And I must tell you this beautiful thing. There is no winter. There is no winter. Now, when pedagogy and religion is ignoring this, there are highly sensitive people in the school. They have some fragrance felt of this truth, that inner flowering, which is very fulfilling, even if you are not yet wise, but growing towards heartful wisdom is so fulfilling that all idiotic things have no more any attraction. Though this is a thing missing in our pedagogy and in our religion. When Jesus speaks, can't you see the lilies on the fields? He speaks on this inner flowering. And as it is, the more beautiful, the more precious, the more difficult it is to speak on such things. So when Nicodemus came, he gave him such a strange answer that certainly poor Nicodemus could not understand a milligram. It's a very sad thing, this. Though one should in every pedagogy respect this inner growth. The religion's the same thing. And these highly sensitive people that must have made amok, they must have somehow felt there must be someone that would understand me, and I speak of me. And this creates such a horrible frustration. And even if I did not even feel this, the despair, when you have some smallest feeling of this inner growing, on this development that removes all desires for silly things, you get so frustrated. Though it's possible that this man went home, took the gun of the father, and killed teachers and others. So I simply got mad, feeling so much misunderstood. And exactly these people would have contributed best things for the well-being of the whole society. As Franz Kafka, he was very close to wisdom. He was very close that his heart could have flowered to inexpectable beauty. But there was nobody to support him. And in this despair, he committed suicide. So, this connection, I also must speak on my prenatal pedagogy. How precious it is when the child is unborn in the mother's womb and friends of the mother come and sing in the heart of the child. So thou art welcome in my heart, thou art welcome everywhere, thou art so much beloved by all the people here around. We all love you, we all welcome you, we sing in your heart. If you do such things with the mother when she agrees, then the child gets invisible roots in the society and is already integrated in the society before it is born. And once integrated in the society, pedophiles have almost no chance to misuse them, and they are also curable. This is something else. And also the postnatal pedagogy, it's very important. One should have centers in every town for mothers where they can go and be fully protected. For when the husband comes home, perhaps not bad, but angry because the boss was angry and the child wanted to drink milk. How can the child of 2 days understand this noise and trouble in the family? He has a shock, and to cure this shock is not so simple. Though I propose two exercises to do. One is from Osho, and the other I have added. Just imagine yourself to stay again in the mother's womb for half an hour, for 20 minutes, for 5 minutes, and rest there. And the other, say to your mother, even if she's dead, thou art most welcome in my belly. Come and rest in my belly, as I did rest once in your belly so long ago. Please come and rest in my belly. And doing these exercises, it is even possible that smokers stop smoking. No more interested. Though this could be done in every country. To accept the fact that inner flowering is possible, then all people that can feel this will feel more happy in the heart, and this creates an atmosphere in which the evil slightly feels love, slightly feels welcome, even if you don't know them. And this slight improvement of his life can be enough that he is not doing these evil things. There's no need as everybody is cooperating. The atmosphere can help very much. This can be done in USA, in Switzerland, in Germany, in Afghanistan, in India, everywhere. And there are enough people, good-hearted people that are very much interested in such nice things. And then Amok will go in holiday forever. To solve such huge problems, it is good to look at other things too, like the horrible event that happened in Zug, in the parliament, where about 15 politicians were killed, and the man that was doing it, seeing the hell he has recreated, committed suicide. The first thing I want to say is that in all schools, the virtue of empathy should be trained. I was doing it as a child. I saw adults speaking, misunderstanding, and recognized they used the same word with very different meaning. So I started making exercises with music. I played piano. I started playing blind, so I could feel more the music, and when it was Beethoven, I tried all to feel as if I myself would be Beethoven. Certainly, I have not this technique, I not this talent, all these things I don't have, but I wanted to play as if it would be Beethoven that plays. This is empathy. You feel so deeply in somebody else as if one would be oneself. The other. If this would have been done in our schools, a man like Leibacher would have had enough feeling before he's doing the hell that this is truly hell what he wants to do, and most probably he would not have done it. When he can imagine before doing it how horrible it is, he will not do it. So again, our pedagogy, our religion, I say, they should do such things, and it is very simple to understand. Everybody can say love the other as thou love thyself, but there is empathy very important. How can you love the other when you have zero understanding of what are the needs or desires of somebody else? It needs empathy to love the other. Otherwise, it is dangerous that this love is only for one's own profit and looking very heartfully, but it is often, as it is in my case, just horrible. Very loving things, but very horrible for me. Though empathy is a urgent task, I feel, for schools and for religions. Otherwise, how can you love the next if you have no feeling what is necessary, what is supporting the other? Then a second thing that is everywhere the case, psychologist says that every human being, to a great part, is a socio-cultural product of its surrounding. This means the surrounding is corresponsible for the act of Leibacher. He was the executive and the other was the legislative. The others gave unconsciously orders to do this. They could have been a little bit loving to him, a little bit friendly, and with some empathy, feel what are the things he needs or he would like, and you arrange that thing which could have a balsamic influence to him, and he would have walked more happily through the streets of his town without having such horrible ideas. This influence from the society is sometimes very bad. Television can contribute very badly. Newspapers can contribute very badly. And they are never said that this is bad. Anstiftung zum Mord ist nach unserem Gesetz strafbar. Es ist eine Art Anstiftung zu Mord. If you know there is a minority in a country, like the 68 movement, who was made up. If you go activating aggressions in this small minority, evidently a Leibacher can stand up and do the things. So one should take care of legal activations of people to become criminals, the same as this Misha Ebner. Certainly he was provoked by some people and forced in a legal way. It's all legal to activate him to kill this Natalia Patricia Slupski. There also were 3 things. There was another young woman killed. Reading this in the newspaper, a man like Misha Ebner, feeling hatred, gets motivated to do it. So the surroundings should be. There is no need of experts that read documents on Leibacher to see whether it is possible that he will be evil. Just send some people he loves. Finished. And I proposed also one could from government send him a nice letter to invite him to a dinner with a Nationalrat. And if this is not good, to invite him for a television emission. Maybe he has found social incorrectness. Politicians do not know because I am not in this environment. Perhaps he could have contributed things, and higher politicians would have even said, but he is right. We did not know that these evil things are there in the society. We must cure it. Leibacher would have been happy. I could contribute. Now the horrible things will end up. And also old Socrates spoke on the stateship. One has to distribute the charges of the ship in a harmonious way so that the ship can pass through any storms of his time. Now these charges were given before, and if I would have had some right to help, I would have said you must have a counter charge to harmonize it. So no one will start doing it. This can be done in any society. Now I'm a little bit tired of speaking. I speak on this already since 40 years without any success, without any interest from any side. So please forgive me that I again had a falling back into compassion, which is nowhere welcome as I have felt. It was never welcome, my compassion for growth and development of countries and inter-country relationships. So please forgive my disturbance and do not send people to harm me in the street.